Congratulations on Dirty Towel. It's a fantastic watch. It's so funny, and yet I've heard this type of story from so many people that it's also like really based on something real. Why did you decide to tell a story like this?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. That means a lot. So my cousin and co-writer Emma Parks and I decided that we wanted to tell this story mostly just because we had realized more and more through talking with each other and through talking with other people in our lives just how much there's a lot of social stigma and shame surrounding people and their sexual choices, especially for women. And we really wanted to make a film that tried to shift the narrative and help empower people to realize, their choices are their choices, no matter what anybody else has to say about them. And yeah, so we kind of just went from there with the story and with that like goal in mind.
With the actual Dirty Towel story, is that something you had heard before, or did you guys come up with that?
So that story in particular is actually from a friend of Emma who her mom gave her the dirty towel speech and I had heard my own iterations, Emma had heard hers and something just about the dirty towel as a metaphor in specific, just the visualization of it, we just really loved and once we heard that specific story, we were like, okay, that's the one we want to incorporate.
And your lead actress, how was the process to cast? Because she did a fantastic job embodying this character.
Thank you. I'll let her know you said that. So Emma and I are actually cousins. So we, family. And when she came to visit and we decided to write it, we always knew from the moment that we came up with the idea and started writing it that she was going to play Charlie. And I think something that she did really well in, even just the writing process is really putting, parts of myself, parts of herself into the character, which made it that much easier for her to be able to embody it and do it so well because truly, like, she understood Charlie completely as a person, as a character, and yeah, I think she did a really great job as well.
Definitely. And the mother character, she is basing a lot of the stuff that she's saying on her past trauma. Why was that important to do? Because I think that adds another element to the mother character.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. So with the mother character, Elizabeth, we wanted for her character in specific to, have her ideas and her beliefs based on her past experiences because I feel like that isn't something super talked about. You hear a lot of stories that touch on like from religion and touch on other aspects, but to go through something and then want to protect your child from it, it's not as simple as she doesn't want Charlie to have sex or she's against sex. Like she doesn't want her daughter to feel the same way that she felt. So in a way, it's like, she has these good intentions for her, but the wrong kind of ideas because of what she's been taught, which is, it's not your actions that are the bad thing, it's how society will treat you because of them. And that's, I think something that Elizabeth like needs to learn herself, and that's something that Charlie kind of learns throughout her journey as well.
Definitely. And going back to the stigmas, we don't see that as often in the main media anymore because things are changing, but it's still very much out there. We still have the Bible Belt that is very conservative. A lot of this country is very conservative. So, um, what do you hope people are gonna get when they watch something like this?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I think a lot when we were first doing it, a lot of people came to us with that, is slut shaming even still a thing? Like, is it still a prominent message in this time in 2024? And to that, I'll say, it is still a thing and the world is changing, but at the core of it, like, there are still a lot of people out there who want to tell women what they can and can't do with their bodies. And this is just another example of, trying to change that and remind people, like, you should have autonomy in your decisions. And I hope for anybody who watches this, regardless of their beliefs, religious, political, anything, that they can feel empowered in their own choices and know that like it shouldn't be in the hands of other people. What you do with your body, sex or otherwise, like is your choice.
I think the comedy aspect of this is so hilarious. It's very well done, very well paced. How did you guys begin to write the comedy of it? Because it's a very sensitive topic.
Yeah, so back even in the writing process, we always knew we wanted to have that blended of like comedy and drama, specifically because, we want to touch on these themes that are heavy and are sensitive, but still had those like lighthearted moments because I think something that comedy does really well is help people connect to it in a way, instead of something too dark or too heavy, like you can do that, but also have some levity in as well. And, it's kind of just mimicking life. Life has these funny moments and dark moments and sad, and it's like kind of just all over. And so we felt like it would be the most accurate portrayal, but specifically in like the writing, that was like a challenge that we, you know, were struggling with like which scenes do we want to have a more comedic tone, which scenes do we want to have more of a serious tone. And then when we were filming in production, we kind of did takes of like all over. Like some takes we would be like, okay, let's do it if it's a little bit more lighthearted. Some we do it a little bit more sensitive. And then I think where it really found its home was in the edit. We had a phenomenal editor, Jesse, who, we would do takes and like edits that some of them would lead more comedy, some of them lead more drama until we like it was like a push and pull until we found what we felt like was the best blended of it. But certain moments we wrote into the script that were supposed to be funny, Jesse ended up editing it a little bit more like, you know, a little bit more on the dramatic side, a little bit more introspective, and which wasn't what I was initially intending. But when I saw it, I was like, that's what it should be. So I think it was kind of a big collaboration in getting that blended tone.
It's incredible because also the cinematography is beautiful. I think you guys did a fantastic job of really pushing in so we can be very captivated by Emma as she's going through a lot of the more intense moments. So, what kind of discussions did you have with the cinematographer? And were you taking different takes, going further out, and you know, how did that shooting process work?
Yeah, so our cinematographer, she's amazing. Her name's Emily. We've worked together on a couple projects before, so we've kind of had a really good relationship in, have being able to have those discussions and also on set being able to really communicate well with each other. But specifically for this, we always talked about, we wanted the tone and the look to kind of feel a little bit like nostalgic, very like, above all, we just wanted people to be able to connect to her. So in certain moments, we did choose a little bit more close-ups because we wanted to feel it with her versus like a lot of wides. But I think in certain moments, for things like the flashes and different things, like we planned out ideas of what we wanted, but on set was really like, let's move the camera here and let's get this. And, I think having a blended mix of, preparing before what certain things we wanted, like that opening and things like that that we knew, and then also having the flexibility to see in the moment what are, the specific moments that we didn't totally plan out, but we left room to explore, specifically with like all the stuff in the shower, like all those flashes were kind of on the fly, like what do we want to do here? What's an interesting look? And I think, yeah, that's kind of where the creativity really goes.
And bringing this to such a prestigious film festival like Holly Shorts, what is that feeling like for you?
So I think the whole film festival process in general is really unique. You spend all this time in, the process of making the film and bringing it. So finally having a place to be able to share it with the world is really special. It's lived in our heads for so long and then lived in the screen, but not, a private screen. So now being able to share it with the world is really great. And, the first time that we were able to do that was back in June at Tribeca. And that was a really incredible experience to be able to share with people for the first time and having people go up to us after and say, I saw myself in that film because of things I went through, guys and girls, like anybody coming up to us and saying that was really special because that's the whole reason we wanted to make this film was so that people who saw it could connect to it.
And now that you're getting these reactions, is there any hopes in continuing to tell stories like this and making, more of a feature-length film out of it?
Yeah, so we actually we always had the intention that we wanted the short to serve as a proof of concept for a feature, and since wrapping the feature, we've actually written, or since wrapping the short film, we've actually been writing the feature film. We've done a few drafts, and now we're just in the process of trying to find producers and pitch it to people. And, our dream would be to make the feature. I feel like there's a lot more to tell in the world of Dirty Towel, specifically with Charlie's story and Elizabeth's, and, just going deeper into that. And I feel like that's, what we're passionate about right now. So hopefully we'll be able to share it soon.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this. It's very funny. It's very interesting to watch, and congratulations on making this.
Thank you. That means really a lot. Thank you.